Welcome back to Best Quote Podcast. So in this episode, I'll be talking about why you should put pressure on yourself. Now, this is not in a negative way because I know some people will see the title of this episode and be like, is this even supposed to be healthy? Why are you talking about putting pressure on yourself? But in reality, if you put pressure on yourself, a lot of things begins to happen in a positive way. And let me start by saying putting pressure on yourself can be in various forms. But in essence, what it means is that going the extra mile, doing what other people will normally not do, going to the level whereby people will not actually go, going to the level whereby the ordinary folks will not want to go to, doing the extra thing, going the extra mile, working a little harder, working a little later, putting in more effort to get a job done or to get results. So, depends on the result you are looking for, depends on the thing you are trying to achieve or the objective that you have. Some people will get to a particular point and be like, oh yeah, I just feel tired, I don't feel like working today, I don't feel like doing this right now. So they operate based on feeling and not based on reality. And when you operate based on that, it's going to be difficult for you to get to the level or to the pinnacle, to the peak of your capability and efficiency. So, but if you operate out of reality, knowing that, okay, you want to achieve this, what is required to achieve that is A, B, and C. And in order to achieve A, B, and C as fast as possible, this is what you need to do. And then you set out to do it. You don't cut corners. You don't wait. Some people sometimes they know what to do, but there's this thing about, expecting or hoping that someone comes on and rescue them. Someone comes up and help them, guide them or motivate them to do that. Some people have so many potential that they are not achieving right now or that they are not living out because they are waiting for someone to come and motivate them, because they are waiting for someone to come and rescue them. Yes, you might get the motivation from videos or for podcasts like this, very good, but what if it doesn't show up? You might have this video on YouTube right now and you just get a little bit of views, or have it on podcast and just a little bit of download. What about the millions of those that are not having access to it, that don't even have access to internet, and those that have access to the internet that don't even know that this podcast is it? So a lot of times you might not actually get that motivation, but if you are lucky to get it, or if you are lucky to be hearing this right now, I think you should take a cue from this and know that you don't necessarily have to wait for that. If you have something you want to do, you should get down and start doing it right away. You don't, or you shouldn't be waiting for something. If you have something that you got to do, then you should get down to trying to do it right away. Put in the work, put in the time, put in the effort, and I guarantee you start seeing results. And some people that be waiting for someone to motivate them, or waiting for the situations to be right, waiting for conditions to be right, sometimes it never gets right, and that means they never get to do anything that they want to do or achieve in their life. And that is a pity, because there's a lot of potential. As human beings, we are all born with a lot of potential, and to the level at which you can take advantage of your potential or develop them, that is how you are going to make impact in the world. And if you are looking to make impact in the world, if you are looking to live a happy life, a good life, a motivated life, a life of an inspirational life, and a life full of great achievement, then you should actually wake up and start working up on how to actually take advantage of that potential. Now, I think I want everyone to see themselves as like a role model, because if you see yourself as a role model to others, it actually does something to your brain. In other words, you stop living your life where you fail just on a day-to-day basis. You start living your life based on intention, knowing that you are a role model. Someone is looking up to you. There's a child somewhere, there's an individual somewhere that is modeling up to you. So you have to live up to standard. And living up to standard means you have to put yourself in pressure. You have to pressure yourself to achieve, to do whatever thing, set activity or whatever thing you need to do every single day. If it's showing up for work, if it's staying later, if it's working much harder, if it's taking on much more than you are paid for. Because in your mind, you'll be like, okay, if I'm a role model, that means someone is looking up to me, so I have to perform. The burden of performance is on you, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I know when people hear, the burden of performance, putting pressure on themselves, they start be like, no, I want to live an easy life. I want my life to be easy, simple, stress-free. But let's face it, there is nothing like a stress-free life. And if you really want to live a stress-free life, then I wonder what kind of life you really want to live. But if you want to live a life of essence, a life of impact, then you must be ready to accept the fact that yes, in reality, in factual reality, pressures exist, and you must be willing to take on those pressures. It wouldn't break you if you did it intentionally. Pressure becomes something negative when it's a forced situation on you. You don't have an option. It has to go like this and that. But when it's actually something that is intentional, that you planned out yourself, you put yourself under pressure because of something. There is a goal attached to it. There's an objective attached to it. When you put yourself under pressure based on that, it's no longer going to be a pressure per se. It's going to be something that you are doing intentional, and it's going to be something healthy and not something negative. Anxiety and all of that will not come into play if you're actually doing it because you want to do it, and you're not doing it because, okay, this is maybe you're sent to prison or whatever, you have to stay there, you don't have any option, you are sent to the coal mine, you've been adopted or you've been kidnapped and sent to the coal mine, you have to work whether you like it or not. That kind of pressure is deadly. You're working your ass off because you actually have to do it. You don't have to do it, you really don't want to do it. So pressure, when you decide to put it on yourself, it becomes a controlled pressure. And when pressure is controlled, it's no longer negative. It's meant for a purpose. It's something that drives you to get to where you want to get to. So I think that is something that people should adopt. It's something that is actually very important. So if you are waiting for someone to motivate you, maybe this is the motivation you are needing, and you are very, very in luck. But a lot of people don't have this opportunity to even hear this. A lot of people don't even have the opportunity to see this. So as